Hello. Fucking hell. We'll start again. My name's Nathan John Hussain. I'm a young creative guy from Newcastle upon Tyne. Essentially, this is continuing on from my video series about becoming like a designer, becoming a creator. Officially, probably my first year as a designer is coming to an end now, and I'm openly looking for internships. I'm looking to work. I'm looking to learn again, basically throughout summer. So I thought rather than send out all the shitty emails you guys are obviously going to receive all the time of people pleading you to help work, I want to give you guys a glimpse of me, the kind of guy who would be taking in. And also, I think the best way to show that off is obviously internships are about learning. So I want to basically tell you guys the three main things I've learned this year, in my first year of being like a creative designer and thinker. So number one is going to be inspiration. Now, what I mean by that is that I think people always look for the golden ticket all the time when it comes to design. They want to kind of get the biggest story and tell it and all this kind of stuff. And I think our job as designers is to tell stories through different mediums such as illustration or editorial or anything like that. Or to me, a designer tells stories. And I think the best way to tell the best stories is that inspiration's in front of you. Inspiration's everywhere. It's not what you find in a design bible. It's the world. That's where I find my inspiration from. And that's the one thing I've learned this year, is to actually keep my head up when I'm going to college, when I'm going to university. Look around. Look at people's interactions. Stories come from people. Look how people interact. You find the funniest and most different quirks within people. I think that's the biggest thing, is to always to look around, because inspiration's everywhere. You can find inspiration in a plug, or in a cigarette box, or in the typography of an IKEA bag. You can find inspiration anywhere. And that's the key. So the first thing I'd say, the main thing I've learned as a designer, is that my eyes are always open, and I'm always looking at how things look and how things are and how things translate in the real world. That's the biggest thing I learned, and that's the main thing I consider when I do my own work, is how does my work translate. The second thing I'm going to talk about is you're going to have shit times. Like, you're going to have times where you're like, nah, can't do this, I'm not good enough, and all this kind of stuff. And when I first went through it, I turned the computer off and I'd walk away and I'd be like, nah, F you, I'm not good enough, I'm going away, I'm going to lie in my bed and watch, romantic comedies all night and eat fucking, I don't know, popcorn or some shit. Don't know why I said that. But what I learned is that actually it's a good sign, because I feel that any good creativity comes from us. I think it's a very humane kind of process, because it's all about emotion and storytelling and sensitivity and stuff. And I feel that best designers, there's a correlation between designers and sensitivity. And I think the more sensitive a designer is, often the better the work, but also it means it's going to be harder. In times you're going to go through harder times, because you see it as a personal insult. So when I struggle in my work, I take it personally. I'm not like, oh, this is just, I'm having a bad day. I literally take it like, I'm like, nah, I'm not good enough, what am I doing? But I've learned that you keep working and close that creative gap, because the more and more work you do, essentially, I read this class theory, the more work you do, there's this thing called a creative gap, and you see it in your head, but what you're making isn't matching what's in your head, and that's called the creative gap. And the only way to close that gap is by doing more and more work. You're going to make loads of shit stuff, but then you will make some good stuff. And that's the second biggest thing I've learned, is sensitivity, perseverance, and you're going to have shit times, but it's okay. And the third thing I've learned is from one of my tutors. Get on with him really, really well. He's told me a lot, and we often have conversations about my design and what I want to do. And this chap, he told us, he went, Nathan, I'll tell you the biggest thing to do when you're learning and when you're training your craft, and it's basically do it to see it to do it. And what he meant by that is, basically with me, I feel like my head's always running and I'm always thinking. I'm a creative thinker. I think that's where my strength lies, is my ability to tell stories and stuff. but I'm always thinking, I'm always looking in the shower, in bed, and when I wake up, all the time in my dreams. I'm always thinking. But the problem is that I don't always explore every single idea. And what he means by do it to say to do it is that I've just got to literally turn over every single idea, because I might find a little nuance in one idea that I can transfer to another idea. You know, ideas don't have to be singular; they can actually work together and complement each other and stuff. And that's the third, probably the biggest thing I've learned is do it to say it to do it. But yeah, that is the end of this little talk I've done. Hopefully you found it interesting. Hopefully you found, you know, something you like about me. And yeah, if you feel free, please get in touch. I'll be emailing you guys just a few videos, so you can obviously have a look at me and see what you like, and also I'll give you some work, and anything else you want to have a chat or anything, that's cool, because I want to know anything's an experience and I'll learn from anything. But yeah, thank you for listening and enjoy your day.